Good morning and welcome to Jasiri. As always, today promises to be juicy and fun-filled with one or two glass bowls being handed out. And of recent, there have been a lot of tears and subs flying on this show, so you might just catch a few as well. Welcome again to Jasiri.
Well, before we catch our subs, I have something I want to get the ladies' thoughts on, right? So it's one thing when women speak highly of their gender, but it really hits differently when the other gender speaks highly of the women. It's just the same way, you know, a woman's money is not so sweet to spend, but another person's money is sweet. So that said, Williams Uchemba, a Nigerian actor and philanthropist, has this to say about the women. Let's take a look and find out what the ladies think.
So I used to think as a young man while in school that the term feminism or a feminist is only for women. So when I hear someone is a feminist, I say, okay, it's a woman thing. Until I started studying, then I found out that I started even calling myself a feminist. And it has a lot to do with women inclusion, including women, not just saying everything is for man. No, it's getting women involved in majority of the things, women empowerment, equality in certain areas, you know. And let me say this to any man that cares to be successful in this life. If you want to go through this earth and live peacefully, do whatever is in your power to put a woman on your side, irrespective of whatever it is that you do. Women, once they are for you, can take you to the highest pinnacle of your life. If you have a woman on your team that loves the project or that loves the vision, the woman will carry both you and that vision and run, and they will not get they will not stop until they get to that end. There is something that drives them that is different from men. I have seen in my life where women played a major role, starting from my own mother. No disrespect to men, no, they do their own. But you see, when a woman is on your project or you make her head of the, or there is another thing that drives them. I don't understand what it is.
Honestly, I couldn't have. We all want to kiss you right here, William Uchemba. Thank you so much.
Speak for yourself. Speak for yourself, Lolo.
I didn't mean literally. I
We
mean
just want you to quickly just clarify.
Anyway, it was late Miles Monroe who said that women or females are incubators. God made them that way, and which is why whatever you give to a woman, she multiplies it and gives it back to you. If you give a woman a sperm, she multiplies it and gives you life and gives you a baby. You give her a house, she multiplies it and gives you a home. And if you give her groceries, she multiplies that and gives you a meal. Wow. You give her a word, she multiplies it and gives you a sentence. You give her frustration, she multiplies it and gives you hell. You can always tell what you've given a woman by what she's given back to you. So let's watch a flip side to the clip by William Uchemba.
Do whatever is in your power not to get into trouble with them. It will be the biggest mistake you ever make in your life. The zeal and the passion is a fuel. The capacity in which they channel their power on you, it is like atomic bomb, irrespective of negative or positive. If you know anything, if you're smart, don't get on the other side. If a woman means you, you're done. That is it. Don't play with people that have the capacity to carry human beings for 9 months and bed them. They are not ordinary people.
Oh no! Thank you, yes. Thank you.
No.
At least you know. Well, I like it when you're
everything he said and more. Williams, you not talk rich the end, but it's okay. We manage what you said.
What is missing?
No. That's not you don't want to know that what is missing.
Mommy Coco ran at passport, so she hasn't recalibrated.
I didn't say I'm struggling. I didn't see that coming. But you know what? I appreciate that, and I think we need to see more male allies. Women can't do we can't break those glass ceilings without those men who will say, open the door, you know? But when you talk about that Miles Monroe quote, it makes me pause. And I'll tell you why it makes me pause. Because I'm not Superwoman. And I feel that sometimes quotes like that and things like this sort of make you feel like, you know, we wear this cape. I put my cape down like 5 years ago. I can't do everything. No. Yes, it's also not my sole responsibility to build a home. It's not my sole responsibility to raise children. So I get the intent, but I think these days and age, I'm like, nope, I'm not that Superwoman you're looking for anymore. Yeah. No, I'm wearing my pants one leg at a time, and I wake up, I'm like, why is this my life? Why am I not a stay-at-home mom?
I do think that we just kind of added Jara to it in this, because when I see that quote, what I think is, if you love a woman right,
if you do right,
she loves you.
If you do right,
unconditionally, you know. So all the emotional things, not the hard work, because it's like we're now looking at it from the physical. So if you give her a mortar, she will pound yam for you. If you give her washing machine, she will drop it and use her hand. You know, that's what we're talking about.
But honestly, she would just make 5,000 become 50,000, like that.
But how?
Compound interest,
no. In the sense that things, I understand where he's coming from. That's why I was owing and eyeing in the city. I was like, listen, I just need something in here so that. But like we're saying, I understand and I appreciate where he's coming from, because the truth is everything he said and more. If a woman loves you and you love the woman right, she moves to you organically. It's very natural, and she can break down all the glass ceilings, stand in front of the somebody is disturbing you. What all she needs to do is tie her up and say, where are they? You understand? She might not have power, she might not have but she's just ready to move and push the envelope for you.
Catherine, I would have said yes to you some years ago.
No.
But right now, any man,
Lolo, don't go
I
there.
do not have
You
the
say what?
energy.
You say what now?
Again. I have joined Tolu's bandwagon.
No.
Honestly, I cannot lie. I know that when you're loved right, sometimes you want to go over and above. But if you have been given Shege Pro Max, Banza, honestly, you lose zeal for many things.
No,
it's just like me and marriage.
No, but you always
I met someone that
way.
actually killed the desire for remarriage for me. No. And I've had a desire for remarriage since I got divorced.
He didn't kill it. It's there because you said it that day. These are days I wish I have a husband.
No, that's because of motive. No, it was a cry of.
It's not.
It was for attention.
I know. There's so many people I know, but you see, Lolo, you cannot. Lolo is who she is. Lolo loves love. You cannot tell me that.
No, see, Lolo reminds me of J-Lo. And J-Lo, how many husbands has J-Lo had?
I've only had one.
No, my issue is if you have run into the correct man, you too. J-Lo believes in love. She believes in romance. She has said it. She's an eternal optimist when it comes to relationships.
I hate you all on this table. Because TV is a medium that exposes. Now men are going to come for me because they know I love love.
You can't hide who you are, Lolo. But I do get where she's coming from, because I was in a relationship one time that for 2 years I was not considering marriage. I told my mom, like between I think 20 something, I told my mom I am never getting married. Right? I would have a child. She's like, how are you married? I said, I'm gonna have a child, but I'm not getting married. So I understand that. But I also want us to look at the spiritual perspective. You are the spiritual lady, but this just came to me. How true is it that when a man gets married to a woman, of course, good things start to happen? Because I think that men, especially in Nigeria now, we've taken that, you know, a lot of men now want to just marry because they say when you marry a wife, you start, you know, all those projects that you're working on.
So what does it do to the woman?
I don't know. So there's just, I don't know if you've ever heard it.
To scriptures, just like you would have taught us.
So when they say he that finds a wife,
woman.
God, where did we?
You didn't qualify it. It's Babalawo wisdom.
But really, when she said you're spiritual, I was like,
are you talking about the Buddhism or which crowd?
I don't know what to say
on this side of the table.
No, but have you guys never heard it?
No. I just told you that the Bible says that once a woman brings favor to a man. I just think that our lives open up people. And you know, when people join to the right partners, there's a partnership that actually works. Women are very intuitive.
They're powerful beings.
And so sometimes if men really use their wives the way they should enjoy the giftings,
take advantage
they will really prosper.
This was you by using take advantage.
So no. I mean take advantage of a talent and a giftings. You channel it well.
Take the advice.
Honestly, women actually give good advice. If you do take it, especially men. But because they have this patriarchal thing in their head, they just will not believe that a woman can have a better idea. And most of the time, women unarguably do have better ideas. So it will do any good man good. To just listen
So
and
that's what
imbibe.
I'm saying.
And if it works, the family is good for it.
And the worst part is because of law, sometimes the woman cannot say, I told you so.
Yes.
Because for me, that's the best
But
part.
me, I just dropped the
Excuse me,
table.
Blessings. The issue is you don't always have to use those words.
Or you
I
whistle.
told you so. You don't have
Yeah,
to use
but
those
you
words.
always use-
Your attitude.
Yeah.
There's
No,
other
I dropped the
language.
table.
You know what I was
lovely.
saying? You find ways to impress it upon
Okay,
the
so
man.
what-
That
so
if you
what
had
way
done
would
what
you-
I said
Yeah.
the first time, we would not be here.
Okay, so what would
Yeah.
you? Let's find a way to say I told you so. What would you do?
I tell you.
Instead of saying I told you so, what would you do?
Remember when I said, as I was saying that time, but you know there was this point I was making, but I wasn't sure if you were going to accept. But let me just. I've been married almost 11 years. I find my way to say I told you.
I will just drop the table and look at you.
I just say, I hope next time we can do it the other way.
Hey, Google, be careful. Now, especially they go.
and I think that men are also scared of that.
Yeah.
So most times when their plans fall through, they are avoiding the I told you so. Anything that sounds like it is
So
like,
they start justifying it.
Yeah.
Over justification.
Moving on, ladies. We
Moving
have
on.
plenty of conversations.
Yes, actually. Moving on. Lola, why did you urge us to
I'm
move on?
surprised that Lola is even the one moving on
understand.
somewhere.
I've just been told so many flowery things about me, and today I forgot my glasses. Shout out to producer. I love you, baby girl. I'm seeing through her eyes, so I'm in my intelligent mode. Producer stance.
I'm worried about you.
Is it only for today?
I borrowed
The
the glasses.
intelligence mode?
Blessing. Wàá sá lọ lórí ètò yìí. Wàá sá lọ lórí ètò yìí bẹ́ẹ̀.
I didn't mean it. It
Wàá
just,
jókòó ẹnu ẹ gbọ́rọ̀.
Wow.
O lè bọ́ àwọn ọmọ mi ẹ̀.
no, it was just a question.
It's okay.
Come on. I'm a
Ó
man.
tún wá fi ó tún wá leave yẹ̀ díẹ̀ ó tún twist yẹ̀.
No, true. I was curious.
After the conglomerate of women have called me that Lolo, calm down for Blessings Musunko. Because she's a child on this show.
Yes.
Well, you have decided to stir the honestness.
You know, Yoruba people say, "Tomode ban ṣe bí ọmọdé."
You're doing proverb to Agba.
I know.
Don't continue.
No, it's even I'm telling you.
Don't continue.
Catherine, please move fashionably forward.
Moving forward on the show.
Fashionably, I feel you did.
I
it.
love it. All about. We bring the conversation to you wherever you are. It's full of those bold conversations, fearless, amidst humor, laughter, and being jovial. Let's move on. Fashion in Nigeria is just more than clothing. I should tell you that. It's a form of self-expression and empowerment. I believe so, truly. But after the break, we'll explore dress sense. How the right outfit can elevate confidence, command attention, and make a powerful statement. You don't want to miss that, so stick around. Jasiri returns shortly.
Thank you so much for staying with us on Jasiri. And if you're just joining, I'm so glad you didn't hear the stuff that I threw at Lolo. She's still mad at me, and I'm glad that someone is staying in between us. But we're going to get to that very shortly. We're streaming live on our social media platforms. We are at News Central TV, so please use the hashtag Jasiri to be a part of the conversation. And so we know that you're watching, and we're not doing this alone. Now, we will be delving into the fascinating world of fashion and discussing how dress sense can be a powerful tool for empowering women. And you know, fashion is so much more than just clothing, like Catherine has said. It's a form of self-expression and it's a form of empowerment as well. So joining us today for this conversation is the incredibly talented and visionary fashion designer, Amy Agomi. I hope I said that right. Thank you so much for joining us. Thank you. You are dressing the way you want us to
No,
address
she's
you.
dressing the Jasiri way.
Yes.
It's the Jasiri way. We love it.
It's given. Big purr.
Thank you. Thank you so much for having me.
Now, wait for it. Wait for it.
Lola, go ahead.
It's a sisterhood.
There it is.
She knows where she's focusing on. So I know, a lot of our guests just resonate with me passionately, and it upsets the rest of the table. But
Oh,
I'm
Jesus.
sorry.
But
Amy,
I'm sorry.
You're gonna have an amazing time. So I want to say thank you so much, Amy, for joining us today. So when I talk about fashion, you need to tell us a little bit about your journey, because I know that the fashion industry is an industry now. And a lot of people are, channeling, they're at the forefront of it. And the beautiful thing is that you guys are taking fashion beyond Nigeria. You've made it a global phenomenon. So can you tell us a little bit about what inspired your move into fashion?
Okay, so I've always had a thing for fashion, everybody will say, but I have actually always had a thing for fashion. I went to Covenant University, and then we were made to wear just corporate wears.
Oh.
Corporate shirts, corporate dresses, you're not allowed to dress anyhow. And then there was this shirt, H&C, at that time, it was quite expensive. I think then they were selling those shirts for maybe 25K, 30K, and it was quite expensive for me and quite a number of students. So I thought about making replicas of those shirts and making it cheaper for people in school as at that time. So then I'll go to Lagos Island Market, buy the fabrics, similar fabrics, very similar ones, give it to a tailor, they produce, I take it back to school, and then everybody was wearing it. And then it was now difficult for people to differentiate between the original, between the original ones and it was, and it was quite affordable. So that ended, and I went in for my master's and abroad, and I noticed that some of us were finding it difficult to get traditional outfits to wear, maybe to church and all that. I also contacted the tailor in Nigeria who would also make the dresses, sent to me, and I was always selling. But guess what? When my master's came to an end, it was time for me to come back to Nigeria. I didn't know what to do. Yeah, I had no plan. Usually people during the master's would apply to NMPC, big companies.
What did you do for
accounting?
Your master's?
Okay, no, in my master's, international business management.
Okay.
My BSc was accounting. So I didn't want to work for anyone because even whilst I was there, my mates were working, but I mean after school I was doing personal shopping. I was just going to Zara, buy clothes, send to Nigeria to sell. So when it was time for me to go back to Nigeria, I was like, what am I going to do? Might as well start up my own Zara, right? Rather than apply. Yeah. So that's how it started. I came back, got a small space, started making ready-to-wear pieces here and there, affordable. Everything in my store at the time was under my name. But that wasn't enough until a friend of mine said, Amy, you have to make my wedding dress. And I'm like, I don't make wedding dresses. I only make simple dresses. So you can do it, just make it. And that was the thing. I made it, and
you haven't looked back.
I'm telling you.
Was it tough for you to make it, or it was something?
Funny, it wasn't.
Was it challenging?
It wasn't. I wouldn't really say it was challenging. Subsequently, yes, but the very first one wasn't really challenging for me, to be honest. It was because it wasn't. The style wasn't so complex. You get, yeah. But when I went into it fully, I had a lot of challenges, to be honest.
Okay, so I think there's just a lot of conversation. As you just walked in, I realized that we also need to talk about women in the corporate space who need to present a strong, but sometimes feminine demeanor, but we'll get into all of that. One of the things we noticed from your designs is that there's a bit of what you might term modesty. Is that something you're big on? Just a little bit?
Yeah, so as a matter of fact, my last collection was titled the Power Collection, and the purpose of that collection was because I wanted to target powerful women. You don't see powerful women opening their bodies, right? Although I have clients who want to get married, but they still want to reveal cleavage and all of that. Now, we have to find a balance, right? The women who like to reveal, and then the women who I really want to sell to, those ones who don't want to show off their body. So I try as much as possible in my designs to balance it up. It's not so revealing, and then it's not so covered up. So that way you still see the sexiness in the outfit, but you're not looking so
all stuck up.
Yes.
So is that sexy? So sexiness and femininity are not necessarily the same thing. But when you talk about your designs and wanting to dress women to feel powerful, does that sexiness then, in a way, help them feel more feminine? Because traditionally, you would think about women in some of these industries, because they're in these positions, they don't want to reveal. They're not going to wear color. They won't wear fitted clothes or form-flattering clothes. They try to stay away from those things because they don't want issues or conversations around their body to dominate what they do. So is there an area in which we've either gone too far left and everybody's like, if I like my body, you guys should take whatever I wear, and then now what we're seeing, there's really a movement towards more modest fashion now.
Yeah. So I'm a firm believer of having your personal style, right? Regardless of whether or not you're in a particular position or what the society wants you to look like. If your preference as your personal style is, I want to be all covered up, I want to look this certain, go for it. But if you feel like, oh no, this is how they want me to be and I must be that way, then that's fine. But I don't think you should be dressing for anyone. I personally think that you should actually look the way how you want to look, how you feel, have your personal style.
All right. Speaking of personal style, I want us to look at fashion and empowerment, right? I'm also into fashion, undulating though. And I realized that the reason that I liked to sew my own dresses was because I didn't like to look like any other thing that I saw outside. Like I didn't like to see any other common design on my body. So I started when I was in school, and then when I see the regular design, I buy the regular fabric, but I make something completely different because it makes me feel different.
Yeah.
So there's a way that, you know, fashion speaks to your sense of maybe uniqueness, empowerment, or something. And I think it also mostly applies to women. You know, if women are having a blue day, just put on a beautiful dress, have your makeup done, your good hair, and you're good to go. You literally forget that you're having a bad day. So how do you think that fashion empowers people, both personally and professionally, especially in this field? What have you seen so far?
Personally, I feel like fashion has a profound way of impacting women, how they perceive themselves and how people perceive them. So personally, I feel like a woman dresses up, she feels nice, it gives her a sense of confidence, it makes her feel good, self-esteem. You know, when you're all well dressed up, you go into a room and within you already feel nice. You know that you're able to speak up and all that. Professionally, I feel like there's this credibility that comes to looking good, right? You're able to speak up. You're able to people address you in a certain manner. You go into a professional setting and you are properly dressed. The first impression that comes with it is, oh, this one has something.
Yeah, and let's be honest, people profile you based on what you look like.
Yes, of course.
So I personally think that both ways, it works personally and professionally. Personally, in the sense that you have this level of confidence, you have this self-esteem, inbuilt self-esteem that just comes with your appearance.
You talked about personal style and being unique, and Blessings also talked about that as well. How do you do that while, in a way, sort of incorporating trends as well? There's some really nice trending fashion. There's some that is not, but there's really nice trending fashion, but enough so that you're incorporating it and you're still having your own individualistic style. How can one do that?
So I think the best way is always to infuse your style, your personal style, into trends.
So what's your personal style?
So I like simple. I don't like struggles. I like very simple outfits. Yeah.
So you don't corset yourself.
I do, but not to kill myself.
But some people can't find their style. Some people struggle. No, they struggle. They really don't know what to wear that fits, except they stumble on something that just flatters them or they feel comfortable in them. But, you know, I, for example, wear clothes for comfort. If I'm not comfortable, I cannot move with the clothes. I don't wear it.
Hello, beauty sacrifice.
It differs for everybody. But some people can't arrive.
And well, I
arrive
get
at finding their style.
And I think that in addition to that, I would say some people don't exactly have a particular style. For example, I'm eclectic. I can wear suit and tie today. I can wear, something skimpy tomorrow. Yeah, it's just it depends on my mood and what I think will fit me. But as long as it fits me, but so I don't have a particular.
But I think where she's going, how do you arrive at your personal style?
That's still a style. The fact that you
don't have.
Yes, if you can pinpoint what, like me. They'll say, oh, you're on your past 40 something, so this fashion doesn't work. And I'm a Barbie doll girl inside.
Yes, girl.
I want to wear my short skirts. And they'll say it's not age appropriate. And I'm torn. So because this is your job, how do you come to your personal style? Or how can you help women understand how to get there?
So I think it's a gradual process. You just need to try different things and then know what suits you, what makes you feel good at the end of the day. Because I don't think having your personal style, you need to take steps or try this on. And at the end of the day, you're able to tell what really works for you, what really fits into your skin. Do you get? So sometimes you can wear an outfit and you go out and you just know that it's not right. It's like, I shouldn't have worn this. There's sometimes you actually dress up and you actually feel very good. You feel very comfortable. And comfort is very important.
So we go with that feeling of, because I know the feeling
it's just a feeling
I shouldn't have worn this because maybe it's too short or I cannot eat well because, So let's go with, I think a lot of people go with how it makes them feel. It's comfortable, it's easy.
But you know it's
or
tricky.
It makes me feel
because
sexy.
I love
or it makes me feel powerful.
Do you struggle to buy clothes for yourself?
No,
said
that's a problem. I don't.
I like
you
what
don't struggle.
Amy said, but she said feel. But how about how people perceive how you feel? Like me, I'll go to store when I travel.
But do you buy?
I buy
you
clothes
for
when
yourself?
I get home. My sister will look at me like this and put her hand under her jaw and say, Lolo, so you went to the store
And
and
bought
you
this.
picked this. And half of the clothes I brought that I feel nice, we'll take it back.
But at the end of the day, isn't that because she's speaking from her personal
Yes,
style?
yeah. So basically, that's you. That's your style. That's what you like. So if you want to pick on what your sister likes you to wear, I don't think it really works because she'll feel comfortable. You're wearing something, she's the one feeling comfortable, you're not feeling comfortable because she has decided that this is what you are supposed to be wearing. So that's where style comes in. So in a case like that, you'll be like, I like it, that's what I like to wear. I don't know if you get me. Rather than, okay, let me go and change it, let me wear what makes you happy.
Okay, so Lola mentioned something about dressing appropriately for your age, and then we also want to talk about dressing for important occasions as well. We're going to talk about that wedding trend. That's a big part of this conversation, where you people are going out and you're looking more bridal than the actual bride. We'll talk about that when we come back. Just so you continue.
It's a pandemic.
Yeah.
We're talking about the power of fashion to empower women on today's Just Siri. Our guest is still with us. And right after the break, I touched on something that Lola talked on. I don't know, should we do age appropriate first or that wedding trend?
Please, wedding.
Wow, the wedding
And
trend.
those that like to bust it open.
Please let me lay the context.
Yes,
Calm
please,
down. Okay,
please.
so we often hear about the importance of dressing for different occasions, but there's been several debates about dressing for weddings as a guest. We've seen situations where a guest looks more like a bride than the actual bride. The don't wear white, even though that may not be cultural for us, but definitely don't upstage the bride seems to have gone out the window. And there's several other trends. The corset trend. Eventually, we're going to ask you which trend you like to go. You don't want to kick away. But right now, when you look at those kind of trends, we see people are going all out for a wedding, and you're a guest, even if you're not on the actual B, and you find a situation where sometimes you don't even know who the bride is and who the guest is. What do you think about that?
I'm not in support of that, to be honest. I have clients who come in and say, see, I want to show off at this wedding. I don't care about the bride. If she likes, she should not look good. That's her business. Me, I must look good. Show me the most expensive fabric. Show me this. And, I'm obliged to do that.
You have to do that to make your money.
Because I'm serving them. But personally, I feel like, off the record, to my clients, I feel like that's more of a self-esteem thing, because I don't know why you're going for someone's wedding. You are a guest, but you have the intention of outshining the person. You want the attention on yourself when it's not your event.
And it's not your ex.
That one. Anyway, so I feel, okay, there's some people who really like to stand out. Like, they want to be seen. That's personally, it's not even about, like, they want to show off regardless of wherever they are, you get. Even if it's a gathering where you need to look simple, or they tell you everybody wear white. There's someone that wants to wear black. That person wants to wear black. There are people who, that is what they like. I wouldn't really say they have low self-esteem. I don't know what to call that. But there are people...
They're just trend breakers.
Yeah, but there are people that actually are struggling with their self-esteem, that they feel the only way for them to be seen at an event is if they look overboard. You get. So that's my take, honestly. But
what trend, since we're talking trend, what trends have you liked the most? And what trend, if you had the power as a designer, would you take away?
Funny enough, I like the Hausas. I don't know if you see how, is it Hausas, I'll call them, or Muslims, how they dress for their weddings. Like, they look expensive, they look simple.
Northerners, yeah.
But like, you see all the modest, you see how, you're seeing money.
Yes.
It's not by force.
That's the trend. It's money.
You understand?
The trend is money. You're seeing money.
You're seeing money, and it's just calm, and you're wondering, like, you're looking at it and you're wondering, how did they put money together like this? You get.
That can be so calm.
You get. Yes. Compared to us that, corset here, flower here, this there, open here. I don't know if you understand.
So wait, that thing where you used to say if you're showing cleavage, your dress must be long. If your dress is short, no cleavage. There are all those things where if you think you're overdressed, always take off one or two items. Do any of these sort of traditional fashion tips even hold water anymore?
No, I don't think so, because again, personal style, there are some clients that want open here, open there, open much more.
Okay.
You get. So, and when they do that, I'm trying to say, okay, are you tying your hair? What kind of accessory are you using? And they're showing you the biggest gold. They're showing you that, and they say, what do you think? I'll be like, why don't you keep it simple, since this is They'll be like, no. You understand? People don't, as in, again, their personal style is what they like. They don't really follow those rules anymore about, okay, this is open, so let's cover the bottom. We get.
Okay,
I mean,
so
okay.
Lola mentioned age appropriate, and I want to
Yeah.
get
let's go
there.
there.
That age of, like me, I like pleated skirts that are short. I just think Barbie dresses fit me. Things with tulle under, with a body top, with a nice cinching belt. But when I dress up, people are like, oh my God, you look so young, beautiful. And so people were like, Agbaya Oshi. Oh, my age, oh, tell a dress set. I met a guy that wanted me to be wearing Yoruba, Irambuba, and I do not resonate with that fashion at all. If you tie me Irambuba, I'm more Igbo than Yoruba. I will wear double wrapper before I wear Irambuba. Oh. So that means I wear a blouse and 2 wrappers. So what, and I've seen a lot of designers abroad.
It's just up and down.
Older women, I think one of them just died recently. She does couture to the extreme. So what would you say is age-appropriate fashion? Or what does... I have seen Moabudu wear some different things. And nobody's
there's also the
reaching a
talk
gun
that,
or carrying a gun to her.
There's also the talk that, I hear what Lolo is saying, there's also the talk that someone would say, it may not fit her probably because she hasn't tried other styles. There used to be on, some other international channels, makeovers, what you didn't think would fit you, but by the time you wear them, you look like, oh my God, I would never have thought that in a million years this would be something I would wear. So is it, like what Lola says, she likes Barbie dresses, things that make her feel young, confident, sexy. Is it because if she tried something else, probably because she hasn't tried something else that she has discovered that, oh my God, I could probably do, what do you call this design now, for example?
2-piece.
2-piece, and it's fantastic, and she knows that that's her new go-to. How does she get there? Even if she wanted to try...
Or is there anything called age-appropriate fashion?
Bam.
I think it's a culture in Africa. We're not allowed, or there's a perception about you wearing what younger ones will wear. You get more. I also think about exposure, and we've evolved, right? So there are this class of persons who feel like you're not supposed to be wearing what a teenager would wear, right? But at the same time, there's some class of persons who feel like if I feel good in it, I'm going to wear it.
Yeah.
So it now depends on you. What do you want?
So, on the contrary, I want to ask, should we not, in this instance, consider maybe the opinions of certain people, especially maybe people we trust? Because let's be honest, I've seen some people who have worn some things, like people older than me, and I'm like, what are you wearing?
Is anybody on this table?
No.
Even
Even if they wear, I cannot. No, of course not. But I really have seen older people, maybe not even extremely old, but I've seen older people wear things. Of course, they want to look younger, which is a good idea. But what they're putting together is not coming together. It's just...
And is it at an attempt to stay on trend? Because we come back to this. A lot of people think that their fashion style is being trendy. Being, okay, if it's shorts and whatever today, I'm wearing it. If it's ripped jeans and heels today, I'm wearing it. That whatever the trend is, they follow the trend like they follow a river. Is it at an attempt to stay on trend that many people sort of lose their way because you're plugged into what is trending versus more of what flatters you personally, what makes you comfortable, what makes you feel feminine, whatever mood you want to show, and that apparel, that piece of fashion or whatever you're wearing also does that.
But I think it happens, right? You have people who want to do that because, they want to stay on trend and all that. But in our society, let's be honest, there's some things that you shouldn't wear.
Like what?
What? My mom, for example, I would expect her to wear a mini skirt because...
To go Ira Star.
Yes, because she wants to keep up with trend. I would say, what are you doing? Do you understand? Even if it makes her happy and it makes her feel good. Even if that's her style.
Even if it fits her, Uncle.
Even if it fits her. But
some people have mothers
but you said
like...
even if it fits her, you still don't expect her to wear it.
Because of the society, like, I don't know, I'm trying to imagine her in it. Do you get? Now, our society has put that thing in our head.
Yeah, like tradition, though.
Especially for women.
For women, you get that we ought to look a certain way at a particular age. But I feel like, yes, in a way they are right, but I think there are better ways older people can look good. They don't necessarily have to dress like a teenager to actually look good. and presentable. You can still be trendy. I'm sure that there are several trends for older persons.
Like
right?
what?
Like what?
This is an opportunity.
So, for example, a two-piece, like I'll consider myself a young person. I can see Mo Abudu wearing what I'm wearing.
Yes.
Yeah.
As compared to coming on here and wearing a rugged jean and a corset
t-shirt
top.
or-
You
yeah.
get. Now there are events for things like that, but you understand where I'm coming from. I would see Shafi Bello, for
Yeah.
example. I'd rather wear this than wear a short skirt. Like even when you look at it, like just try and imagine which is a better look, regardless of the trend. Maybe short skirt is running at the time, but which has a better look. You get so, and then you see these short skirts of a thing. They fit smaller people. They fit younger people. If in my opinion, like they fit the younger ones.
But as far as I'm concerned, all these are just contrary. Because if you're saying that, if we're saying that there's personal style, and now we're listening to the personal
what the
style
society-
is determined by what people,
cultural society.
cultural undertones and things. And if your mother is in America, she probably will wear some things, and it will be acceptable. So if she feels good, is it continent-based? Then that means there's nothing like personal style. It's just style according to what people agree with.
So if my mom feels comfortable wearing a short skirt in Nigeria and with her chest, her shoulders high, then that's fine. That's her style, right?
Yeah.
I won't succumb to it. I won't.
But you know, go follow it and go somewhere.
No, I don't go
No,
follow
I believe that. I believe that people, especially your close friends, should have the respect. It's just the same way even a young person will wear a color and it doesn't really. This color is not really. It's not
Well,
your
speaking
color.
of color,
you know,
Monday.
there's a way. No, wait. But I really want to. I also want to, point out something that happens in Nigeria. Nigerians don't believe in simplicity, and I've realized that one of the ways that Nigerians like to show their wealth is through what they're wearing.
Is where their money.
They wear all the gold
where their
they
money.
have. All the gold in the Malam shop is on their body, and then it begins to look tacky. How do we begin to sell? Because I do believe that there is beauty in simplicity. Maybe not all the time. Sometimes you can be extra, but a lot of times you don't always have to go Barbie on the whole world. You know,
But,
just,
and then they ask you with
Oh,
the
why
full
did
chest,
you
how
use
is this?
Barbie? Are you attacking me again?
Oh my God.
Wow. Today is about me and blessings.
Catherine, please continue. Do you see how you people are Amy just looking back and forth like, what did I walk into?
Okay, listen.
Ongoing feud.
On Monday, we're talking about fashion. Blessings mentioned that color matching is a Nigerian thing, unlike color blocking. Abi?
yeah,
That's what
so
you
much.
said.
Yeah.
To match. So what would, off the top of your head, what would you say are the tips for incorporating color blocking into your everyday outfit?
Or even just
everyday
color.
style?
And that color blocking is not every color because of God. I see red and black and white. It's not. Is it every color?
No, it's not every color. For me personally, I will go for calm colors if I want to do color blocking, right?
What do you mean calm
Maybe,
colors?
peach. Do you
Or
get-
pastel.
Yeah,
Right?
or light pink. Those kind of family.
colors,
I wouldn't really do the pink, fuchsia pink, green and yellow type of color block. There are people who do that, right? But for my personal style, if I have to do a color block, it has to be with calm colors. I would advise that people do work with calm colors. But yes, in Nigeria, we like to match. Like we like gold bag, gold shoe, those kind of things. Silver this, silver that.
So very quickly, because we have to go, what are your top tips for women in terms of elegance? Because fashion is a trend. Everything can change. But what a lot of women want to aim for is elegance, which is much more timeless. We're talking about simplicity, clean lines, figure flattering, not necessarily figure hugging,
Yeah.
So in terms of just how women can make themselves look more put together and powerful, dressing is a very powerful thing. I'm not happy with what I'm wearing right now. Everybody's okay with it. I just glued my eyes and picked it out of the closet. So right now I'm not very happy as I'm
think you
sitting
look
here.
nice.
Thank you very much. We appreciate it. But I'm still not happy. So we understand the power of what we're wearing to impact our mood. So in terms of helping women to make better fashion decisions, what are your top tips?
First of all, it depends on where you're going to. You need to consider the occasion. Is it a work event? Is it a party? Is it a dinner event? So you need to pick out outfits that suits the occasion. So you don't go overly dressed or underly dressed. I'm a sucker for simple outfits. You never go wrong when you're simple as compared to having so much going on, right? So if I'm coming here, I'm wearing this and I think I'm okay. If I'm going for a dinner party, I'll pick a simple black dress and I'm good. So getting the right, knowing the right occasion and what to wear for that occasion, trying to start off with, except your style is a very strong one that you have to go like you're going to fight a war, then that's fine. but normally, I would recommend that you go simple at every given time, honestly speaking, because you always win with that, right? Putting simple things together and then showing up smartly.
All right. Thank you so much, Amy Agomi, fashion designer and creative director, for sharing your insights and, of course, expertise with us today. It's been a really interesting conversation. Yes. I think one will continue because the ladies on Jasiri, the fashion is eclectic. It's very eclectic. And you can also tell our moods oftentimes by what we're all individually wearing. But thank you so much for your time today.
Thank you.
Thank
you so much.
We're going to take a quick break, but Jasiri will continue in just a moment. And there's a lot more on the show, even though we just have a little bit more time.
Thank you so much for staying with us on Jasiri. It's still been a very beautiful conversation. Before the break, we had a conversation about fashion with our guest, Amy Agomi, and we learned a lot. And I'm sure that the people watching also did. All that, packing all the jewelry in the Malam shop, it's not necessary. There's beauty in simplicity. But very quickly, we're going to go forward, and I'm going to remind you that this is still News Central, so please follow us at News Central Television across all socials and use the hashtag Jasiri so we know you're watching.
All right, some weeks ago, a colleague of ours, because she's a presenter, sports presenter particularly, the beautiful Chief Chappelle. Yes, she got into some kind of fracas. It was just unimaginable, the things that people can do. You hit somebody from the back, then you get out of your car and you end up beating her up for that. And it became something very, very agonizing. Every time I watch the video, I am just in tears. Like, how does this happen in a country that has laws? Look at the gash from the back and see what they did to a human being. Nearly stripped her naked, and everything went south from there. But thankfully, this matter would not be dying down anytime soon. I know that the matter is in court now, and we have Chief Swore in the building with us today. How are you, baby girl?
Wow.
I'm grateful to be here, grateful to be alive.
We're grateful
the
to
fact
still
that you're
have
smiling
you.
with all of this.
Honestly,
Yes.
So can you quickly run us through what happened on that night? People have seen the video. I know it became a trending conversation, really. But really, what happened that night that this unfortunate encounter with these individuals occurred?
Well, like any other working class woman in Lagos, I finished my commentary duties at my space where I worked, Wazobia. It was a Carabao Cup final. Closed, I wanted to go and pick my son from his godmother in Ikati. And then I approached the express. I was driving my car, as you saw in the video. There was a lady that had an accident up front, just approaching Marwa, just after, for those of you that are familiar with the road, but just after the footbridge from Lekki itself. And they told us to slow down, so 4 cars kind of slowed down. This was like 8:30, 8:45 in the evening on Sunday. And then a car just hit me from behind. Wow. For me, personally, I just thought, it's Camry, no problem. There's no issue. Pata. It's not more than 400. I have insurance, no problem. And you hit me from the back. All I was thinking to myself was, how was I going to get my son? Should I carry my car and go and park it, or should I drag it like that? And as I wound down my window, because I saw a pregnant woman approaching me, I wound down my window and I was like, okay, good evening. Before I even said good evening, she was like, stop her. She wants to run. And dragged me
From the window.
from the window, and as she dragged me, 2 other occupants from the car, their name they gave us was the Moses family, but we are finding out that Moses is not their name, it's just their father's name. The Onyedi family, Wisdom Moses Onyedi, Chidera Moses Onyedi, Stella Moses Onyedi. They dragged me out, tore my clothes, beat me so bad. And it went on for minutes. You know how Lagos is. People started driving past. Now, the other day I was watching when you guys had a conversation on sisterhood and how it's important to have big sisters and whatnot. For a moment, I was alone in that express. Nobody was stopping. And, people were passing by. And one of the ladies that passed by reached out to me after she learned that I survived. And she was like, I was scared. I had my daughter in my car. I wanted to come out. I'm glad you survived. And, not just one. a guy stopped.
They could have kept it to themselves.
He stopped seeing them beating me. And he was like, why are you beating this woman? 3 men, 1 woman, and the other woman that's not pregnant is busy telling them where to hit me most. And if it didn't happen to me, I'll think that maybe it's just all those things that they used to do. You know, and they slapped the guy twice when he stopped. And this man was a military officer, so he was like, he was not going to leave, he was going to stand there. I want to give props again to the police from Morocco, because the LCC came. They saw what was going on. Even in the videos, if you watched it further, you hear them saying, no, sir, you hit her, you shouldn't do that. And it gives rise to the conversation of assault, you know, that's so high in the country right now, and especially in Lagos. And for women that work, and women generally, we are the recipients of it. As of last year, it was 91% of women being the victims of assault, whether it's gender-based, domestic, or sexual. Now, it's almost like 95%. Every day, once I'm done here, I go to the DSVA appointed psychologist. From here, I go to a psychologist. Today was the first time I managed to step into the studio to even say hello on her. I just started learning to drive again and not be so shaky. I still have moments where my anxiety rises. I can't hear from this side of my ear. That's why you hear me with this, because I can't put this on and everything is ringing. The stitches are gone. I'm out of the cast. I was battling with them for my car. They wanted my car. They said they would take the car if I didn't give them, because we're driving a Benz. So they were like, they would take my car before they would, I'll give them 8 million before they would let me go. And you know, in the struggle, they twisted my shoulder. So they had to get that back. So much violence that's not needed. And when people say this is Women's Month, March, we are supposed to protect the women, and this and this and this. It starts from the grassroots, it starts from the foundation, it starts from what you hold as family values or how you make your money. Because if you do it in dishonorable way,
you know, we need, because
you just get
time
crazy.
is just running. So I know that you've had your day in court like once or twice.
Yes.
So what's the progress?
Honestly, when we sit here as journalists, if the thing it have not happened to you, you will not know that the process is arduous. Again, Lagos is trying to make it easier, so they have agencies that you can work with. And I want to say thank you again to Madam Titi Lola Vivo, who has been amazing with providing support. What happens now is, we went to court yesterday, for instance. They trivialized the case and made it seem like it was just a common thing between 2 road users. And you know, because our judge doesn't want to waste state resources, she's of the mind that, let's see if we can manage it. But the truth is, we are in 2 courts right now. One in civil, one in criminal. I believe that these are the cases that our governor is supposed to look and say, this is how we protect the citizens of Lagos. You all work in the media. Sometimes you close by 12. I closed by 8:30. I was just going around. It was a busy part of Lagos. It should never happen, but it happened. And they moved with impunity. The minute they made the bill, they ran away. And then, thankfully, our court is dragging them back small. I'm hoping that this process would open up the conversation on protecting more women folk and people generally in this town.
Okay, so we're going to follow this case, and unfortunately time is not with us, but we're going to need to have you back on this. And then we also want you back on happier terms. Because you're a very vibrant personality, and we know we'll enjoy that conversation with you.
You're very kind.
But we are very thankful that there is some process for justice in this, and we're going to keep up to date, even if it means we have you on Zoom as the case progresses as well. I heard at one point that they hadn't arrested everybody, that somebody was on the run. Has everybody in this matter been arrested?
They have not. One of the brothers is on the run. They denied that he is their brother. He came from their car. In fact, they threw it to the ag bearers that it was the ag bearers that
joined in BT for no reason.
But here's the key thing.
Very quickly.
All ag bearers are not mad people. It was the ag bearers that saved me.
Let's leave it at that. Because of time, we have to go. We're going to have Chief Swall back to follow up on this case and, of course, have a situation with her where we can laugh and have some good times. But this is, of course, where we draw the curtain on Jasiri for today. Thank you, as always, for joining us. We'll see you again bright and early tomorrow. It's 10 a.m. It's Hot Topic Special, and the guest...
Now die.
We leave it at that. We'll see you tomorrow.
Bye.